Today on the newscast, Iran's largest ever ballistic missile attack rocks Tel Aviv and Haifa. Get all the breaking details next. Hey folks, welcome to the USA News. We begin today with some very important updates from Israel, where last night, Iran launched its largest ever ballistic missile attack against the Jewish state. Now, this came as Israel was marking the holiest of days in the Jewish calendar, the Day of Atonement, Yom Kippur. As we reported here in the newscast, Iran had been threatening for days that it would target Israel on this holiest of days. In true to form, the Islamic Republic carried out those threats. Now, what does this all mean, and where do things go from here? We're going to break it all down in a minute. Before I do, two quick things, real quick. Number one, if you have not subscribed to the news channel, hey, click the notification bell, hit the subscribe button, and join us. On a daily basis, as watchmen and women on the wall for such a time as this, as we continue to bring you the kind of cutting-edge news that you will not get it anywhere else here on the newscast. Secondly, I got two things real quick. Hey, if you want to get the big picture on the Middle East and beyond and how it affects, no matter where you live, be sure to check out my brand new show called The Global Lane, which premieres tomorrow, Wednesday, October 4th. That is right, tomorrow. Join me every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Nighttime and catch airs throughout the week as we break down the biggest stories from the world's most volatile and chaotic region, the Middle East and beyond. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about this major Iranian attack against the state of Israel last night. Now, before I get into all the details, the overall assessment, I would say from an Israeli perspective, it's pretty good. No lives were lost. There's some damage, but that's it. The Iron Dome anti-missile defense system shot down most of these missiles. But as I mentioned a minute ago, these were the largest number of missiles fired by Iran or Iran-backed forces against Israel since the Second Lebanon War back in 2006. This has raised the stakes, no doubt about it. Iran clearly wants to escalate things. And we've talked about this on the newscast many times over the past few weeks. They've been getting bolder and bolder, and they are emboldened right now because of the internal political situation inside of Israel. There is a caretaker government. Benjamin Netanyahu has been prime minister for 12 years. He's in his 6th term. So there's a sense, not only among Israel's enemies, but even among some in Israel who say, hey, we need a change. And so Iran, sensing weakness within Israel, again, we've talked about this on the newscast, is pushing hard right now. They think they see blood in the water and they are going after Israel. Now, more than 100 missiles were fired last night. 100 Iranian-made missiles fired by Iran's proxies, Hamas, Hezbollah, Islamic Jihad, towards Israel. Some 50 of them were shot down. Thankfully, again, no Israelis were killed. But this is still a massive barrage of missiles coming into Israel. Now, we have to remember also that just a few days ago, 2 weeks ago actually, Hamas, which rules the Gaza Strip with an iron fist, fired some 4,000 rockets at Israel. And that came on the heels of another volley of rockets fired by Hamas out of Lebanon, which really caught Israel off guard. So there has been an uptick in these rocket attacks against Israel from Lebanon and from Gaza in particular over the past few weeks. Last night was the first time that Iran threw its hat in the ring, so to speak, and went all in with this massive missile barrage. It was unprecedented for them to fire this many missiles against Israel. Where did they come from? Most of the missiles, more than half, came from southern Iran, which is relatively close to the Israel border. Also, some 20% of these missiles were fired from western Iran, perhaps near the Syrian border. And then a small handful of missiles came from eastern Lebanon. So the bulk of these missiles came from southern Iran. We don't know exactly what prompted that. Did Iran launch these missiles themselves, or did they allow their proxies like Hamas and Hezbollah to do their bidding? Because oftentimes in the past, Iran has told its proxies, hey, wait, hold your fire, we're not ready yet. It seems like Iran maybe gave the green light to its proxies to go ahead and strike. But once again, we don't have full clarity on that yet. We're still gathering the intelligence to determine exactly what happened and where these missiles came from. Hey folks, we have to remember that Iran is a regime hell-bent on Israel's destruction. It's in their charter, it's in their DNA, and they will always try, whether through direct means or through their proxies, to harm Israel. Remember the war in Syria over the past few years? Hundreds of Iranian-backed attacks against Israeli soil over the past few years? Yes, but nothing on the scale of what we saw last night. Again, the largest barrage ever of missiles against Israel. So as I said a minute ago, I think from Israel's perspective overall, you can say things could have been much worse. Yet I think the sense in Israel is that this is only the beginning. This is Iran saying, hey, we can hit you on your holiest day. We can embarrass you on the world stage, and we can make you bleed. And Iran wants to make Israel bleed. Why? Because once again, they think they see weakness in Israel right now. And until there's a new election there, which may not be until late November, early December, Iran is going to keep pushing hard against Israel. And sadly, I believe that this attack last night was a sign of things to come. What do you do when you are Israel in this situation? You counterstrike. That's what Israel did earlier this month, I should say on September. When Hamas fired some 4,000 rockets out of Gaza, Israel responded in kind with massive airstrikes against Hamas targets in Gaza. Look for Israel to do the same thing here. Over the past few months, Israel has operated with a sense of restraint when it comes to striking Hamas, Hezbollah, and other Iranian assets in Syria, in Iraq, and in Lebanon. That changed dramatically last month when Israel began to assassinate, unfortunately, quite a few Iranian Islamic Revolutionary Guards, chorus officers, and soldiers on Syrian soil. So Israel is getting more aggressive, and I would expect Israel to respond here in kind with massive airstrikes against Iranian assets. Now, the timing of that is unknown. It could come in the next few hours. It could come tomorrow. Who knows? At the end of the day, Israel is going to respond in kind, I believe, with these airstrikes against Iranian assets. Hey, stay tuned here to the newscast. We will keep you posted. Keep Israel in your prayers. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Pray for the people of Israel today as they navigate these turbulent times. It is certainly a time for God's people to be on their knees. Speaking of turbulent times, the Middle East is indeed a tinderbox right now. I mentioned it yesterday on the newscast, but I encourage you to check out my brand new show, The Global Lane, which premieres tomorrow.
Wednesday. Make sure you tune in.
Be sure to check it out tomorrow, Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I will be bringing you the kinds of stories that you know and love here on the newscast. But we'll have a little bit more time to dive deep into the biggest stories of the day. Until tomorrow, thanks so much for joining us here on the newscast. God bless you, and remember, never hold your peace. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the newscast. If you enjoyed this episode and want to see more, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe for new episodes every weekday.